This is the 40 Days for Life podcast with your host, Sean Carney.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today on the 40 Days for Life podcast. I am Sean Carney, the president of 40 Days for Life, and your host for this podcast, which is dedicated to helping you end abortion where you live. Happy Lent! Cheer up, everybody. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. If you are listening to this podcast when it comes out, it is Fat Tuesday, the greatest day of the year. February the 17th. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. And so today we are going to talk about what you can give up for Lent, some suggestions, some Lenten temptations. And somebody who I personally am giving up for Lent is my co-host, Mr. Steve Carlin.
Love you too, Sean.
I thought you were doing the you.
The you.
The you. And Heather is also here. Happy Lent.
Happy Lent. Happy Fat Tuesday.
Happy Fat Tuesday. I love Lent. And a cultural question for Mr. Carlin, because I'm always interested in your psychosis. Was Mardi Gras a thing for you growing up as a Catholic in the North?
No, I did not know what it was. I did not know that Mardi Gras was just French for Fat Tuesday. I thought it was just a season.
For those of
95% of Americans.
For those of you who don't habla español, El Niño means the Niño. Okay, God rest his soul.
That was not on my radar.
Okay.
Wow.
Not on your radar. So my mom grew up in New Orleans, so it was a huge deal for us. Of course, New Orleans is pagan and probably should be wiped off the face of the earth. So we would go to Lafayette for Mardi Gras. Or, shout out to a great East Texas town, Jefferson City, Texas has a fantastic Mardi Gras. It's random.
Didn't know that.
Totally family-friendly, cute little town in East Texas. So.
That's the big difference right there. Family-friendly Mardi Gras.
I mean, I don't need to see like gay dudes chained to each other on Bourbon Street to realize, tomorrow's Ash Wednesday. It's like, okay, you're sort of ruining. Get a new definition of Fat Tuesday. But it's one of those things where it was definitely part of my upbringing. It was super fun. We'd go to Shreveport for Mardi Gras. We'd go to Lafayette, and it was all wholesome.
Isn't Shreveport largely just Texas, though, but on the wrong side of the border?
No, there's a northern Louisiana population. They're not Cajun,
Okay.
but they're Southerners.
And they have parishes still.
They still have parishes. Of course, we had an abortion facility closed there back in the day. But we would go to Shreveport. This is back, I don't know if you go now, you may get shot or mugged or both. But yeah. We definitely grew up with it, and I kept thinking the whole country does this, like when I was a kid, but
Nope.
It's not the case. Did you do any of that growing up?
I never went to any big Mardi Gras festivities that I recall. I think probably the biggest celebration was in school.
Where are you, Steve, specifically, on Fat Tuesday being a reason to completely just go nuts? Or is it like, look, I'm going to enjoy dinner and maybe have a dessert because I'm going to give up dessert? Or is this just like, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning.
Don't ask questions
pizza.
you already know the answer to, Sean. Don't ask questions you already know the answer to.
Great soda is flowing like wine.
If I don't have diabetes by the end of the day today,
Total failure.
waste.
And then the big guilt Ash Wednesday fast, waking up early, I'm never eating again. And it's just followed by the, after the big surge of sugar and saturated fat.
I will say because we have always had 40 Days for Life.
Yeah.
Since 2007, 2008, whatever, when Lent started. There have been many times where I have forgotten that it's Fat Tuesday.
Me too.
And it's like I'm exhausted and holy smokes, now I got to be at the sidewalk and just to make sure everybody shows up in the morning and bring the materials. And it's like 11:55 and I'm like, crap, where's that cake?
Yes. And yeah, that's been a problem. Unless I'm with leaders and they're like, hey, we're going to go out to this restaurant. It's Fat Tuesday. But that happened to me last year. But yeah, otherwise I'm traveling. It can kind of get lost.
One time I went to kick off the 40 Days for Life campaign, kickoff event on the evening of Fat Tuesday in a city that is probably number 2, second only to New Orleans in Mardi Gras observance, which was Salt Lake City.
Okay.
You had a Mormon Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I texted you about it, and you said, I believe you replied, a large water, no ice for me and all my friends.
That's right. No caffeine. What? Gosh, what
That's
did you
funny.
eat? You just like a sandwich?
I think I went and found at Heather's 11:55. I think I found an ice cream place.
Okay. All right. There was something. If
So-
I'm home and focusing on it, it's full blown Mexican.
There you go.
My kids and everybody, that's what they want.
Naturally. So if you didn't really do much with Mardi Gras growing up, when's the first time you heard about a king cake?
Yeah.
I'd say in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Because you find the baby Jesus in the king cake.
But they do this for Mardi Gras. Isn't it also an epiphany thing?
Yes.
Okay.
But Mardi Gras mainly.
Okay.
Culture that I grew up with.
I don't remember.
But
maybe one time.
A king cake, okay, is a massive cinnamon roll. That's all it is. People will explain, you're gonna put that in the bayou. No, it's all just it's a big cinnamon roll, which big cinnamon rolls are good. I'm not knocking it. But my mom always sends us a king cake from the famous king cake place in New Orleans. So we've had one now. But something about baking the child Jesus, it rubs me the wrong way.
This is where all the microplastics in our bodies are coming from.
And then whoever finds them,
You hope they don't choke on him.
yeah.
first of
So
all.
the kids, they're all looking for it because you cut up the cake. For those of you who don't know, you get the king cake. Baby Jesus is buried somewhere in the king cake. You cut it up, you distribute it, and whoever gets the baby Jesus, what's the deal?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Something happens.
I think it's just like winning your fantasy football. You just have
It's kind
pride.
of like that. It's maybe a little different, but it's
Probably something superstitious, pagan.
It's not. It's not. I remember thinking it has a well-meaning tradition that's kind of cool, and the kids want the baby. As a parent, you're terrified of them taking a bite of this king cake and somebody choking on the baby Jesus. So,
Or now you're going to the dentist.
yeah, or you bite down, on the baby Jesus. So, anyways, that's the thing with the king cakes. But for some people, they sort of wonder what it is. I didn't know this because I was like, it's king cake. We only have this once a year. It's a cinnamon roll. You can get one in the gas station.
With all the anti-RFK colors on top of it.
Yes,
The Mardi Gras colors.
purple, glitzy.
Oh, that was
green.
another thing. Masks. We do like the Mardi Gras masks. I don't know why.
Yeah. Here's
I don't know what
my.
that has to do with
We've
that
been
Tuesday.
insulting people a lot on
Yeah.
the podcast, so I'll just kind of extend that. Look, I love Louisiana. I love Cajun food. I love, besides slavery, the history of Louisiana. It's over with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like the jury's out. It's a crap hole. It's dangerous. They ruined it. It didn't require Dennis Quaid and the Big Easy. I mean, that kind of revealed it. But New Orleans, you cannot go to New Orleans. I took my kids probably 8 years ago. We were on the way back from Florida. I'm like, we're going to go to noon mass at St. Louis Cathedral. And you can't do it. It's all the voodoo, creepy pagan people with skulls and smoke, and there's drugs on the street. People are urinating everywhere. It's worse than San Francisco. And so
All year or just at Mardi Gras?
all
No,
year.
it's all year.
Oh, you could never go for Mardi Gras. I mean,
No.
it's probably like hell. And the whole, I just like to call kind of BS on it because I know a lot of people that are from New Orleans. Most of them don't defend it anymore, but they're like, no, it's New Orleans. No, those days are gone.
There are still beautiful, beautiful pockets of New Orleans that haven't been destroyed yet. But
They are pocket watch pockets. I mean, these aren't. You can't fit a wallet in there. They are little pockets. The architecture is beautiful.
Yes.
The layout of the city is beautiful. New Orleans, because they imploded, we have Charleston and Nashville.
yeah.
Ooh,
That's my theory.
that's interesting.
New Orleans should be the most quaint, beautiful southern city, most hospitable southern city, and it just turned into a cesspool. And Mardi Gras is like that on steroids. I mean, you could never. It's not that you couldn't take kids there.
No.
That's a joke. You can't take adults there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they really ruined it. And I think anytime we can harp on it, we should because it's a shame what they've done to that city.
About maybe 10 years or so ago, my brother, Cameron, who you've met, he and his friends took a road trip at spring break or whatever, and they went through St. Louis, and I don't know, they went through Dallas. They visited the Star, the Texas Stadium or whatever, the AT&T.
Yeah.
And they went to New Orleans, and they're very excited about it, and they left almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like, this is a disaster. We should have not come here.
That's how you feel. It stinks. It's really, really bad. And the last time I was there with Matt, I had to speak at a conference, and I was like, we're going to give it a shot. And he knows New Orleans really well because he grew up as a Northerner. Like, they would go down there on a weekend getaway or whatever. So he knew a lot of great spots to go. Of course, he thinks it's a dump now. But we're like, hey, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to go have lunch, and all that. And it's like parts of it. With Café de Blanc, what's the place with the beignets?
Yes,
we went there
24/7.
24/7. We had a beignet. We had the coffee. It's just, I'd rather go to Milwaukee. I mean, it was just on the list of places to go, and it's really sad. I mean, it should be busier and more prosperous than San Francisco, and it's just not. So I like to harp on New Orleans this time of year because the other thing is spiritual, which is they've turned Mardi Gras into this. I know they have all the traditions, and I love Raymond Arroyo, and he explains everything, and he's all into it. But he lives in a fantasy world when it comes to this. I mean, it is a pagan.
What does he say?
He loves it. He describes the traditions. He takes Fox down there. They have Laura Ingraham down there. We love Raymond. He's fantastic. But he's from New Orleans. He should love his hometown, and he should promote it and be proud of it, and he is. But it's over. It's like it doesn't matter what he says or anybody else says. It is a crap hole, and it's really, really sad. But the spiritual part of it is Mardi Gras is the reason for debauchery. It's totally lost its authentic heritage of heading into a season of fasting and penance and all of this.
What would it have looked like as traditionally observed?
Well, they would do all the costumes, and there were all these reasons of why you.
But what were the costumes? I don't have a it Mardi Gras.
I don't remember, but there's a good explanation of why you dress up, why the colors.
But what do they dress up like?
It just depends.
It's a lot of theatrical.
It's a lot of theatrical
like the masks, and there's a lot of masks involved, and it's very green, purple, yellow.
And there's
colors.
meanings behind all the colors that have a Christian background and all that. So there is some there, but I'm just saying you can't stand on the streets.
Yeah.
And
the beads, I don't know what the original
are. I forget what the beads are.
But the Mardi Gras beads are big. People almost like a Hawaiian lei. They put beads on you.
Let's take a almost there but not quite there holiday in St. Patrick's Day. You can go to most St. Patrick's Day parades, and you're gonna feel safe. I've been to New York. I've been to Dublin. I've been to Houston's. Our church participated in Houston's, and you're going to feel safe at all of them, really. St. Patrick's Day parades are very, very safe. I would say most of them, 80%, there will be some kind of Christian theme that has to do with St. Patrick. The Knights of Columbus will be there. They're definitely, St. Patrick's are walking around. Guys get dressed up. There's statues. We always had a huge statue. We handed out rosaries. They handed out holy cards. There's some kind of theme. Mardi Gras, you'd have no idea, like Lent's the next day. It's just, it is a total, they've really blown it. And I think that's why you have cute little places like Jefferson City, Texas, and Lafayette, and other places in New Orleans are great to go for Mardi Gras. But New Orleans itself, other places in Louisiana, New Orleans itself, that's just kind of my rant of like, they just completely, their corrupt government ruined a great city.
Did Katrina factor into this?
Katrina revealed it.
Okay.
Katrina revealed it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say if you're into architecture a lot and you want to experience the New Orleans architecture without going to New Orleans, could go to Galveston, Texas. There's a lot of New Orleans influence architecture there.
No. I think you go to New Orleans. If you're like an architecture person, go.
But if you want to avoid it, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
If you don't want to
feel like you have to take a shower and then you can get out of your car.
Yeah.
I remember what year was that? I think it was 18. Maybe it was 16. Maybe I was coming back from the Florida Symposium, And I got this wild hair that I was going to take my kids to New Orleans. It was during the day. We're going to go and we're going to eat. And we went to Mass. And I mean, we just couldn't get out of there fast enough. It was really, really awful. And it's one of those you want to like. Like you want it to work and it just doesn't. So I've just given up on it. And all of my friends who were from there don't live there anymore for obvious reasons. So anyways, anything to add on that? Sorry for the negative.
Doom and gloom. Perfect setup
We're
for
starting this Lenten podcast with anti-pagan sentiment.
There you go.
Okay. We're going to take a look at ways not to approach Lent. Oh, this is exciting. Number 1, don't ignore Lent like they do in New Orleans.
Good point. Good segue.
Who ignores Lent?
Okay, so personal example. These are mostly probably
These are very personal examples. Some
For
of
me.
them are a little too personal.
like
The edited version of Heather's notes.
no, like
Did we need a listener discretion as advised?
no.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we didn't go into too many details about New Orleans.
New Orleans.
So. No, I think sometimes if you're just going through a season in life where you're already feeling beaten down enough, and then thinking about sacrificing one more thing, you just don't even want to do it. Or on a lighter note, you could just be so not paying attention to what's going on because maybe you're too worried about 40 days, setting up a 40 days for life vigil.
Yeah.
Or you just are paying too much attention to the sports scene or whatever is going on, and you just forget that Lent is coming up, and you don't think about it. You don't do anything to think about how you're going to, I guess, take advantage of it and make the most of it to prepare for Easter. So you just kind of go through it like the weeks are no different than they have been. It's ordinary time, no big deal.
Except for you just have cheese pizza on Friday instead of pepperoni.
Well, you could, I guess.
No, but I mean, that's...
For me, I would, but
Well, I think that
that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
I'm just saying,
yes.
when I was growing up, our Lent just meant we weren't eating meat on Fridays,
sure.
and that was the
That was it.
extent of
Sure.
our observance of Lent.
Yeah, I see
But in
what
all
you're saying.
fairness, those days are gone.
Yes.
Where people don't eat meat, where people give up meat.
No, I'm saying I think Lent is taken more seriously now. And not just,
Okay.
I mean, even if you just look at the denominations that observe Lent, it's through the roof compared to what it was in the 80s and 90s.
That's good.
Yeah, it's very good. Somebody's making Lent great again. I think maybe we know who it is.
Oh, geez. I don't think so.
But somebody is making Lent great again. I think that there's two approaches. I'm the opposite with Lent. As I think you know, we had a great Christmas break. My in-laws celebrated 50 years of marriage, so all our relatives were in. It was a bunch of parties. We were watching football, we're eating, and all that. And of course, you just like feel like crap at the end of like the holidays. And so I told our kids Lent starts on January the 3rd. It just says that like I need Lent, like Lent must start, you know.
Boy.
And I think a lot of people look at it that way also, which is I need a reset. And for the people where it does, and this has definitely happened to us because of our jobs, a lot of years, is it sneaks up on you.
Yes.
Is that there is a little fake it till you make it. Like it's a season. So you may not feel like wearing a coat, but if a cold front comes through and it's cold outside, you act accordingly, and then your body adjusts and you adjust and you get into that season. And I think we have to do that with Lent. Like it is Lent. Ash Wednesday's tomorrow. I'm going to give up something. I don't want to, or I didn't think about it. I don't feel ready.
I don't feel, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Ignore all emotion and enter the season with sacrifice. And I think that is a very, very healthy thing. It's one of the reasons Christians from the early church have observed Lent and then eventually observed Advent leading into Christmas, because we need that reset to prepare our souls for this magnificent event that changed the history of the world.
What is the proper disposition that one should have during Lent? Is it like, should you be denying yourself until you're miserable? Should you be, there's a wide range of things, because sometimes my wife will say like, look, Steve, you don't need to just punish yourself and beat yourself into the ground. And I'm like, but if you look at the saints from the history of the church, it's like, well, we're going to eat rocks for dinner every Lent. And then on Sunday, we'll like have some grasshoppers and that'll be our splurge. So what is like how hard are we meant to push ourselves?
It depends on which saints, because that was the impetus of the monks making beers. They would have a liter of beer every day.
And pretzels too, I think.
And pretzels.
Pretzels
that
are making me thirsty.
That was their fast. And today, modern dudes that we went to college with would be like, I'm just participating in Lent, bro, and drinking beer all day for 40 straight days. I'm like the monks. But yeah, some of them were eating grasshoppers. Some of them were having wonderful Belgian ales.
So what's the proper disposition? How ought we go into it?
I think it depends.
I think it depends, but I think it's easy. You know what you suck at.
Yes.
Everybody knows what's wrong with you.
But for me, that's a whole lot of
Not
things.
you, but you know what I mean. Like we all know. It's like these self-help like diet people. They're like, you know what you eat.
Yeah.
You're not an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not a child.
Yeah.
Like, you know, man, I had grilled chicken for lunch. Yeah, but then you had 2 milkshakes. Like, you're an idiot. So you know the areas of your life you need to attack, whether it be sinful inclinations, whether it be sin itself, whether it be overeating, overdrinking, oversleeping, complaining.
Just attachments of any
Just
sort.
attachments of any kind. And then the disposition is getting away from those and closer to virtue. I think we complicate Lent. I think we've Americanized it to where it's an Excel sheet. And we're like, oh my gosh.
But then you can sell stuff.
Then I'm thinking of writing a Lenten devotional.
Yeah.
It'll come out next year on Amazon in 2027. But, that whole thing is I think it's a balance. And I was definitely crazy Lent guy in high school, but you kind of have to be. You have to go through that phase. You have to learn how to fast or sacrifice or get into something. But I've been accused of being, is it hangry?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I've
for
been
sure.
accused of that a lot by somebody that I'm married to. And if she says it, then it's true on most things.
I believe it.
But there has to be, this is a real sacrifice. I can do it. I'm challenging myself, and I'm not going to lose my mind. And it's better for me.
So you don't have to make yourself miserable, but you do need to do some self-denial that will take conscious effort and pursuit of virtue.
100%.
All right.
The conclusion of this podcast that we're jumping to is you don't have to it's a time of self-reflection and self-denial. You don't have to self-destruct. Is kind of the big takeaway.
And I think too, there's the disposition is, okay, our Lord went into the desert, and now you need to go into the desert. Okay?
Yes.
There's a lot of darkness in your soul. You're like all of us. There's a lot of things that are not right. If you don't take this little season that the history of Christianity designates, and you don't want to take it halfway seriously, you don't want to go there, when are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Before you die.
Right.
It's amazing Lent's only 40 days out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're focusing on the sins of the world and the need for the resurrection of Christ, which is, of course, coming at the end of Lent with Holy Week. And my whole thing is to flip it, like the whole, like, oh, what if I eat meat on Friday during Lent? Am I going to hell?
Yes.
All that.
Yes.
I don't know. But you go to hell for many other reasons. And the meat or the giving up breakfast or the whatever it is just getting you in the discipline
Yes.
to live a life worthy of Christ. And to say that you are currently living a life worthy of Christ is the definition of needing Lent. So I think that disposition of Lent disrupts our Western mentality that everything is fine.
Okay.
And we're good. Heather's a great person. You're a great person. John the Baptist, producer John's a great person. Yeah, that's right. That's next year's podcast on Lent. But we all know we are in sinners in need of salvation. And if there's no reflection, if there's no official dedication, this is why I hate organized religion. Well, what's worse is unorganized religion, which is you running around figuring crap out on your own. And we have this designated time. It's like the light turns green. It's time to go in this area, and it's a gift. That's why it's a holy season. It's a wonderful season. I think the negativity towards that is just, really misplaced.
Sure.
Because it's a true gift of reflecting on ourselves and where we ought to be, and it's a short season, and disciplining. It's so funny. We know that to get ahead in the world, you got to have discipline. Like if you're going to have a career, if you're going to lose weight, you're going to get in shape, it requires discipline. You're going to win a Super Bowl, it requires discipline. But when it comes to our soul, no discipline. Right. No, it's fine. Everything's good. And that's just living in a fantasy world, And so I think that it's a tremendous opportunity. It's a great time to challenge ourselves. And it's a time to remember, too, if I don't do this now, when am I doing it?
Yeah. And to your question, do we make ourselves miserable? Some people would have to say, yes, that is what I have to do to more than empty myself, to wake up to what is wrong with me, to the things that are the corners of my soul that I don't want to really face, that come out in XYZ way. I kind of look at this the same way as like confession for me, because I remember I once had a priest who, once I made my confession, told me, "You're really being too hard on yourself." And he was saying something, I think because he knew me, and he was trying to, I don't know, trying to make me be more real. But I was like, no, you don't understand. This is actually happening. And so from that point on, I was like, I'm not going to somebody who knows me anymore, because I don't need to hear you're being too hard on yourself. I need to hear you suck and you can do better and you need to. And that's just how I kind of go. But other people, that would be the worst thing.
Well, and we know, the people we know, we usually accuse of being scrupulous.
Yeah.
Like our kids or our spouses are like, you're too hard on yourself or whatever. So it's a sort of a natural thing. But the ones who don't know us, like a Nigerian monk in Benedictine college that wore me out one day. It was great in confession. He didn't know me. He didn't care, which is good. I always go behind the screen, but it was like he kicked the crap out of me. It was a glorious moment. I was like, I don't even think I did anything that bad. It's like it was a great moment.
The last 5 people.
It was a great moment in the history of Sean. It really was, and he had a great accent. That made him even more correct in his assessment. But that is. You Lent how you want to Lent. It's not up to anybody to say that's too extreme or this is how you do it or this is it. You need to do, and a lot of it could be following the Holy Spirit. But I think this is a life journey over time of figuring out what kind of penance you need for your state in life, what you need to give up, what you need to fix, what you need to correct. And I am big on something physical needs to be given up. I know there's like, well, I'm going to pray more. And that's good. That definitely should be part of a Lenten resolution. But you need to have a little bit of pain somewhere. And we've talked about the gift that is cold showers, which I always feel bad when we talk about cold showers. You're like in Wisconsin. I'm like, no, Steve, my shower's cold. And you're just like, that's not.
It's easy for us when the water is frozen and can't actually come out of the faucet. So sometimes it's easier for us.
That's right, exactly. Why does Steve have a fireplace in his bathroom? But yeah, there needs to be I think there needs to be some kind of physical sacrifice. Of course, taking the fact if you're a diabetic or whatever,
right? Yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think on whatever level there needs to be some kind of physical sacrifice, but also the more important part, obviously, is where we're designating our time. One of the cool things about the modern time that we live in is it's a healthy fad, but it's definitely popular to get off social media during Lent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that's always a good thing. Okay.
Don't ignore also, though, the prayer and almsgiving part of Lent, because I think a lot of times we focus on just giving up something and fasting. Like Lent means we're giving up meat on Fridays, and that's it. Well, we should be praying and also trying to look for ways to be charitable towards our neighbor. And if, as we'll get into a little bit later, if you're just giving up sugar or you're just giving up whatever, all this is a diet. This is not a spiritual component.
But I think what makes a diet is your disposition. If the doctor's like, hey man, you got to lose 50 pounds, then go on a diet. And you need to go on a diet, right?
Right.
But with Lent, as Peter Kreeft said, there's nothing wrong with fasting and losing weight as a result.
Sure.
Like-
Exactly.
Like that's not the reason that you do it, but
It's a nice.
things that are good for you are good for you.
Yes.
These things all are related to the natural law. Like the Lord has made us in a certain way, and certain things are good for us and certain things are bad for us. It's not arbitrary. It's not just a random, like gluttony isn't a sin because God just decided arbitrarily that it was a sin. It's a sin because he didn't create us for that.
Right.
It's not part of our nature.
Right.
So it is.
Unless it's like a Super Bowl party or something. I mean, it's different.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
It's fine.
got to draw the line
You're-
somewhere.
right,
Queso is fantastic.
As you pointed out, or Papados.
Yeah,
Great place for gluttony.
that I actually did go to confession
remember-
for gluttony
I
after going to
remember
Papado.
Remember you saying that. You didn't understand the size of that catfish. But I do think it has to be, a challenge. If you like it, that's a good thing to kind of give up, but maybe not all of it if you go crazy, if you have a big sweet. I always use sweets because I don't have a sweet tooth. So I like how you have in the notes, I'm giving up eating cake. Like that's something
Yeah.
I would do. And I literally probably have cake 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And it's just not my thing. Giving up nachos may have some problems.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, that I think that we just all know this. We know what we have too much of. We know what we need more of. And I think making a realistic commitment today, Fat Tuesday, to do that, whether it's an extra 5 minutes of prayer, whether it's reading a little segment of the Gospels every morning and reflecting on that, or if you already do that, then to do it in the morning and in the evening, to pray with your spouse at night or with your kids at night, even if it's just 5 minutes. Read the Psalms. Read a psalm every night.
I think your loved ones, and especially those who are married, your spouses, are the best way to gauge whether what you're giving up or what you're doing is working or not. And I think, I know Mother Angelica, one of my favorite bits of hers is where she was talking about how someone says they're going to give up coffee and it's going to be the hardest thing for them because they're so addicted to it. And she's like, yeah, so you're miserable and you are tired and weary throughout the day and you can't get your work done. If that's all the result that you get from giving up coffee, then don't give up coffee.
Right.
It's like, that's a good point. And, but don't give up as easily either. So, but
Yeah, I think that there are things that you're able to give up. And also I think you have to work in, we talked about this a little bit towards Advent, and our priest always talks about it going into Advent of, you need to make a sacrifice. Don't go to a Christmas party and be a weirdo. If they're just passing out cookies and they want everybody to have a cookie, eat the cookie even though you give up sweets. This is not about being like that guy or,
Oh, I was that girl.
I know
I went to
you
birthday
are.
parties
That's probably why
in
the priest
junior
yelled at
high
you.
school. And it was like, no, sorry, I can't have the birthday cake because I gave up cake for Lent. And it was like, oh, you poor thing. Like, really? Yeah, no.
You have
Sticking
received
to
your reward.
No, and it can be like that. It can definitely be like that. And so there's going to be something where you're going to have a cheat day, birthday, whatever, the Feast of St. Joseph, whatever, St. Patrick's Day.
I think this is illuminative to me because I one time on this probably more than one time, but one in particular time made enemies on this podcast because I don't really get the concept of the Exodus 90. Like you're giving up everything. Because I was like, but I'm not, like I don't have a problem with that. And I don't. So it seems like we've established kind of a good idea here where you don't need to just take out every source of enjoyment out of your life, but rather focus on those that maybe there's a disproportionate
I
attachment
think you're
to.
being too easy on you and I. We criticized Exodus 90 as basically a sort of an unhealthy approach. Like it's great as like a challenge, like you want to be a Navy SEAL,
Yeah.
but it's like no caffeine, no sugar, no alcohol, no sleep, no coffee,
No sleep.
no
Oh my gosh.
TV, no anything. And I've just heard a lot of priests say that something's going to give and it's not going to be good. Like that's not a balanced approach. It can be great. It was designed for seminarians, number one. So that needs to be part of it. But there's a lot of just you accomplished all that and your wife thinks you're an a-hole at the end of it. And so.
But isn't the response to that just give the stuff up and don't be an a-hole?
Yes, that's what I was going to add to that.
Okay.
That's your
Yeah,
challenge now, is doing that without depending on whatever.
They're not. They're exhausted at 8:30 at night. And their wife is done. She cooked dinner. She cleaned the kitchen. She put all the kids to bed. She cleaned up the throw up, and she wants to just relax and sit with her husband. And he's falling asleep on the couch because he's exhausted. And she's like, "Can we have a glass of wine?" No. Okay, well at least have a cup of coffee and stay up a little bit. No, I'm off caffeine. Hey,
Large water, no ice.
large water, no ice. And he's asleep. It's for single dudes.
Sure.
That's my point. I just think that's my point.
This is why Paul was so down on marriage. You're better off if you didn't marry.
Corinthians 7, baby. Get some.
Exodus 90.
Yeah. There we go. A little celibacy action. But yeah, I think for married people, Exodus 90, or you have kids,
Yeah.
Exodus 90 is raising children. It's Exodus until you're dead. I mean, it's just, there's that constant.
See, that goes back to this first point of I sacrifice every day.
No. This is a good Lenten point. They don't. They complain every day,
Sure.
and Lent can be the sacrifice. I'm sure there are a lot of people, I would understand too. Traffic. They're in traffic all every day. Like some listener has a commute. And they probably realize it or don't. That
The
how
only
much
reason
they
they listen to this
complain.
podcast.
Yeah. How much they complain to their spouse about the traffic.
Yeah.
Or how much they just get frustrated in their car.
Yep.
And there can be I'm going to listen to a Christian podcast. I'm going to, anytime I want to cuss out somebody because they cut me off in traffic, I'm going to say an Our Father, whatever. But you can offer those things up and join them, as Paul says, to the crucified Christ, and offer up those and make your complaints a sacrifice. And I do think that that's a great thing to do in the middle of just Lent, of realizing, what do I complain about?
Yeah.
And anyways, I think that's that kind of is how you started. Is some people may think, look, my life, I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah.
And I think we underestimate. I've had those moments. Like I think our whole life is Lent at times when the kids have a bunch of activities. But I think we underestimate how Lent can energize us through that, instead of being like another bag of rocks that we got to carry around. Because it's not like that. So
The next one I have on here is don't just commit to easy fast. Obviously, these are all just suggestions, and there's probably it's not an exhaustive list. There's a lot of other similar content out there with other tips. But my thinking behind this was, like you said, I'm going to give up something that I really don't have an issue with anyway. Stuff like that, or I'll give up putting salt on one meal this entire Lent. It doesn't make it a bad thing to give up small things like that. But if your goal is to just, I'm giving up something so I can say that I gave up something for the sake of giving up something, and there's no thought beyond that, there's no spiritual component, and there's nothing that's challenging you, then also what are you doing for Lent? So that's how I look at it.
yeah, this is just don't be a wuss.
Yeah.
Give something real up.
Yeah.
The other thing is there's a balance of, you're giving up everything, so you're destined to failure. And give something up that you really may fail at.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's what I'm saying is you
What's wrong
think
with
you
failing?
fail because you don't reach that maybe impossible goal, but look how much more you stretched yourself and how much further you got.
Right.
Because you were aiming for that.
Exactly. And it's about the spiritual component.
Yes.
I went to 9 strip joints during Lent. Never had a Coke. What?
Never had a go.
That's not the point.
And you criticize what is actually on this album.
I just wanted to say strip joint and see Steve's reaction.
I
But
was
there
gonna
is
let it
kind of
slide, but
But there becomes a list of the material stuff, and it's what Mother Angelica said to the coffee lady is, this is a battle against sin. Whatever you give up should help you attack
Yeah.
sin.
Right.
And so if you can be detached from your cookies or your beer or whatever, then that's going to help you fight temptation. That's just the way we work. And that's the definition of discipline. Okay, don't be cute. Oh, this is what I just covered with the strip.
I think this,
Okay.
yeah, I think this can kind of relate very much to number 2, or maybe even be combined. But there was a time that I would give up the same things every year, and I would be like, okay, this is hard and this is challenging, and I'm going to replace it with whatever, right? But one year I gave up desserts, which was common for me.
Like you ate desserts, or giving up desserts was common, or both.
Eating desserts and eating sweets was common for me. And I specifically, you have to be careful with your phrasing with yourself. I gave up desserts. So it was amazing how easily cake was more common of a breakfast choice, and also became a snack. It's not a dessert, it's a snack.
So you're saying dessert is the timing, not the subject.
That is the psychological mind game I played that one time during Lent many years ago. It was pretty ridiculous.
The Lenten lesson is don't be Heather.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Don't be me.
Then it says Heather gave up 7 things for Lent for many years. So even if you fail, you got to get up again.
Yeah, where are you on that? Is that
I went down. Don't think high standards are the enemy.
Yeah.
You skipped the very important point of don't give up smoking crack.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah, giving up behavior that is bad, like pornography, smoking crack, or other things. So,
I'm going to give that up and then, see how it goes after Lent. Like, no, that's just give it up altogether.
Yeah.
So if you give up smoking crack for Lent, what's the rule on Sundays?
See? Exactly. Exactly, Steve. You're picking up what I'm throwing down.
Steve hasn't visited a prostitute since Fat Tuesday. One heck of a Lent.
That's why Ash Wednesday is Wednesday, because you got to ease into it. Only half a week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that is true. It's the giving up the other things. The ultimate goal is to give up all the sins, and the giving up the sins is the the sort of assumed resolution.
The prereq.
The prereq.
But what you said, what we kind of talked about earlier goes into this next one, which is don't think, and this is controversial, lots of people disagree with me on this, don't think that high standards are the enemy. So you're destined for failure if you set impossible. Maybe not. But again, for someone like me who I just have to have certain higher things, or at least at some point, or otherwise I'm just not gonna do it.
I'm the same.
But again, that's if you have stretched yourself and you've become a holier or a better person somehow by the end of Lent, and even if you didn't quite succeed at your goal, that does not mean that you failed. Mm-hmm. But the main point of Lent.
100%.
So yes, I did. I did for you said high school. You were way more disciplined. This was me. Junior high and high school.
I'm not saying I was way more disciplined. I was crazier.
For Lent. Though.
Crazier Lent guy.
Okay, crazy Lent guy. Okay, good. I used to, for whatever 7 was, it's the perfect number. So I gave up 7 things for Lent. That was like, as a child, that was something that I could keep to, right?
Like a child, like in high school, or child like
junior high, 10 and up. 10, I would say probably.
What are some of these
12.
7 things?
Things that I was.
Smoking crack.
Smoking crack was one of them. That was way too common for me.
Big crack 5th grader.
No, things that I knew would be a challenge for me. So sweets.
Okay.
Chewing gum. Dr. Pepper.
I didn't realize you had such a sweet tooth, knowing you all these years. Of course, you bake cookies here all the time.
That's right.
I don't know what I'm thinking.
No, chewing gum, and then I forget what the other. Sometimes they change, but there was at least the Dr. Pepper, the desserts, the chewing gum.
I know Dr. Pepper people,
yeah.
and it's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was hard. That was,
That's a big one.
And I was definitely I cannot wait until Easter Sunday to chug the grape soda.
Guzzle Dr. Peppers.
Guzzle Dr. Pepper.
I'm not drinking Dr. Pepper. This is my lunch.
That's right.
That's right. It's food. I'm eating it. I never did that. But I had.
I'll have a grape crush with breakfast on Easter Sunday.
Will you? You told us
Golly.
that. You really give up. I know we're not supposed to talk about what we're giving up because that's annoying, but you give up grape soda every Lent. Is that true?
Yes.
So funny.
Why do you? I'm showing you admiration.
I appreciate it. One year I included in that chocolate milk, and Laura was making fun of me. And one of my friends said, "Leave him alone. I give up sprinkles for Lent."
Steve has the diet of a 7-year-old male. Okay. I don't know where we were, but No.
The kind of the follow up with
Failure.
this, failing and starting again builds habit, which builds character. And as a good friend of mine who regularly goes to the gym says that he's experiencing now is the gyms are full the first several weeks of the new year, and then by Valentine's Day
They're gone.
They're gone. And that's people. I think that's kind of goes along with you fail and then you just give up instead of admitting that you have weaknesses and then going to God and asking for strength and then trying and keep on trying. So
And putting yourself in good positions.
Yeah.
And sometimes that may be planning not your failure, but your break. Mm-hmm. Like you're like, we're going to grandma's. It's her 90th birthday. She makes her banana pudding. Everybody has to eat it or she's offended. I'm having banana pudding.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a common thing.
Yeah.
I get my birthday is almost always during Lent. And so I have fellow Lenten birthday people and they're like, I'm eating what I want on my birthday or whatever. But yeah, I think that, of course, the danger to that is the birthday must end, Steve. It's one day. It's one day.
Ooh, are you guys like a week-long birthday?
No, I'm saying know thyself.
Know thyself.
It's
Will
like
it
if you're
set you
gonna
back?
you're gonna go into the barbecue or whatever, and it's like, okay, it's got to end.
Funny.
The good, obviously, with 40 Days for Life going on, going out to the vigil. It's a great Lenten practice. We're at the foot of the cross. You're serving your fellow man, and you can save a baby. And if you commit to going out an hour a day, woo, that's a big one. Hour a week is a really big one. An hour during the entire campaign if you're super busy. But taking that time to go out and to pray per capita, we always say we save more babies in the winter campaign. It's not really the spring campaign.
I appreciate that.
I know. I always called it the spring, and the Northerners like come undone. I'm like, it's cold down here, bro. It's like 58. So, yeah, that's one of those things where you can really have a huge impact because it is colder outside, and the women realize that.
And if you miss an hour, you miss 1 week, well, you should just never come back again then. Or make up for it or
Make
go
up
to the
for
next
it.
week.
Yeah. Okay. Don't think Lent is about getting that beach body.
Exactly.
This is America. It's exactly what Lent is for. It leads into summer. Steve is like Mr. Lent beach body guy.
I already have a beach physique.
We had to pay him just to not take off his shirt during the podcast.
When the focus shifts on vanity over spiritual growth, you've missed the point of Lent again.
Okay. However,
It can be a nice effect.
what some people need to lose weight.
People need to lose weight.
And the way to do that is fast. You stop eating.
That's right. And losing weight is not a bad thing.
Why is Jennifer Aniston on here? Okay. Okay.
Sorry, you got me.
We've talked about this on the podcast before. I want to bring up Fulton Sheen, all right? Because we're going to talk about...
Who's going to be beatified?
I know it.
It's
Fine.
back.
It's back.
We're back, baby.
Fulton Sheen. Awesome. Okay, so Fulton Sheen says, whatever the church puts down, the world picks up. Okay, so he uses the rosary as an example. If you don't pray it, if it means nothing, if it's just decorative, the world will pick that up. You'll see rosaries hanging down. You'll see people wearing rosaries.
That has a double meaning to it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It does,
Okay.
And I would say with the intermittent fasting trend with like a diet, like a way to do it, which it was probably at its peak like a couple years ago because like everybody in Hollywood was doing it. And
It seemed to be around, actually right before COVID and during COVID is when.
and I would say now it's sort of like, they're like, it's just a caloric thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. But that if Christians are no longer fasting is good for you. It does cleanse the body. It, helps, get all the toxins out and all that good stuff. The world will start doing it. Hollywood starts doing it. And I thought that was really, really interesting with intermittent fasting because the word fasting was probably it was very negative.
Yes.
You're religious.
Yes.
And all, it's just this negative thing. And then intermittent fasting came along and it was like, hey.
But isn't intermittent fasting just skipping breakfast? So you have like lunch at noon, dinner at 6:30, and then you skip breakfast.
And you have no snacks or beer or,
Sprinkles,
coffee or
chocolate milk.
Correct, but I think that's like the standard one, which is in our notes, the 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours. That's what Jennifer Aniston does. That's what Kim Kardashian does.
They skip breakfast.
They skip breakfast. But you have to remember, they're not eating. They're only eating for 8 hours.
They're not skipping breakfast, so they're cramming all their meals into that amount of time. So I actually noticed
Pretty much cuts out night dessert, drinking,
right,
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but who's drinking every day and who's having dessert every day? This is like
Hugh Jackman was.
I think this is
and he
just
was Wolverine, and he quit doing it.
They just found a way to sell. Here's my plan. Like, here's my intermittent fasting plan. Sign up for $99.95 versus like, don't eat breakfast. Same thing.
Steve's getting caught up in this right now.
I just think it's a very American thing. We talked before about like Americans love to put their twist on fasting or Lent. And I said, because you can sell something and they can sell intermittent fasting.
And that's the whole thing.
Skipping breakfast.
This has become trending there, and it's follow me for my latest. I mean, several articles actually credited Hugh Jackman for saying his 16-8 program.
Well, the other
16-8
thing
program.
is all the fasting people came back and they were like, it's actually not good because it's really impossible to get enough protein, and you have to have plenty of protein. And it just goes on to the next thing.
It's just not.
And then they're like, actually, as long as you, which is like, yeah, no crap. As long as you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight. You know, it doesn't matter if you're fasting or not. It all kind of went that direction.
Yes.
But it was a fad. And
but this is how Hugh Jackman says he got his Wolverine physique, was fasting, and that was the end goal.
It wasn't the 7 hours a day.
No, not the gym, not any of that.
The steroids.
But these aren't bad
TRT.
things. Intermittent fasting isn't bad things. Obviously, we're just pointing
No,
out that if
intermittent
you're
fasting.
saying
Don't listen.
we're
to
doing this.
No,
People are trying to skip breakfast. The heck with you.
No, I'm
or
I'm
work
pro
out and
skipping
eat breakfast at 10 a.m.
No, I don't eat breakfast anyway. So I was doing intermittent fasting, not
Before
knowing
it was
I was
cool.
doing it.
Exactly.
My brother-in-law was like,
You're proving my point.
yeah, no, okay.
Like, as you'll remember, I
Believe
lost.
me, I made up the calories later in the day.
A few years ago, I lost 60 pounds, and I did by skipping breakfast and not snacking. And I never thought in my life, you know what? I found a new 16-8 method.
Okay. I will say the 16-8 thing, I think, is how intermittent fasting came on. But then it did become this trend to do these like 72-hour fasts.
Yeah.
Which they're, this body cleansing. I think it's all nonsense. But that's legit. Like a 24-hour fast. And I don't know, like if you're going to do a reset, like spiritually, and you want to like knock yourself over, do a 24-hour water fast.
Is this about the toxins? Because I got beef with that too.
No, not
like,
no.
What are the toxins?
No, I'm not on the health thing.
Okay.
I'm saying if somebody wants to do hardcore.
Yeah.
Like I think a good Lenten practice is 1 24-hour fast a week. Forget the health stuff and all that.
Okay.
But just you are going a full day without food. And you only have water, you can have coffee. But like,
And you're not snapping at the people around you.
and you're not snapping at the people around you, I think that's a great Lenten practice. Because in that, to me, the 16-8 thing, you're like, it's 2 o'clock. Freaking go time, baby. But if you just know, I'm going to bed and I'm not eating again until I go to bed again or after I go to bed, you know, and I think that mentally, that's easier almost than saying, at 2 o'clock, boy, I'm gonna give me some Taco Bell. So anyways, I just if people are gonna go hardcore fasts, bread and water, skipping meals for 48 hours, 24 hours, whatever, I think that spiritually, this is my humble opinion, that's a little bit better than the 16-8 thing. But a lot of people do intermittent fasting for Lent, and I think
they skip
good.
breakfast. I'm sorry. I'll move on.
Maybe, you know what, though? But you're right.
I think you're underestimating if they, okay, so let's say they skip breakfast and then they do their little window. But at like 6 o'clock, they're done. Like at 8 o'clock, they can't have popcorn. That's a sacrifice for somebody like me.
Yeah, I don't think it's scientific and needs to be rebranded as a new name.
No, I think all of the, what's the word they use where your body goes into this thing, and everybody came out and was like, it's kind of BS. Like,
So I one time was like, the only way to lose weight is you have to cut sugar out of your diet. And I was like, I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. I never quit eating ice cream.
Right.
I ate it every week.
right.
No, you didn't. Oh,
No, you
Blueberries. You love blueberries.
somebody tell my scale that.
No, it's so true. But all of that, but the weight loss thing is the caloric.
Yeah,
Deficit.
it's simply a deficit.
And the intermittent fasting can help with that if you're just grazing all day.
Right. Like
But-
you're going to save money on your gas bill if you like your gasoline bill if you decide you're not going to drive 3 days a week. But that doesn't mean that.
But the keto, the intermittent fasting people, paleo, keto, all those things are going to work if you're in a caloric deficit. But that's not like Lent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you say I'm going to go on keto for Lent, you're like, that's a diet. It's a great diet. I've done keto before, and it's like awesome. But that's not like a spiritual thing. That's just I got inflammation, and I got to get rid of the sugar.
To me, makes it a waste. Like if you're going to give up stuff, why don't you do it for a spiritual benefit too, rather than just a physical benefit?
Yeah.
Well, but that's just because you're just living your life, and you're like, look, the doctor said I got to lose weight. That's my motivation. Maybe I'll
It's just an amazing
Your
thing.
body is a temple, Steve, so it is spiritual.
But if you're a Christian and you fast, it's something.
It's something. It's beach body.
It's like the thing where they've got the sign on the highway. It's a historical marker.
Aw.
Well, my friend Father Joel says his body's not a temple; it's a basilica. He'd like that.
Well,
He's large and stature.
yes,
Okay.
I've seen Father Doyle.
Yes. Okay.
I've seen pictures, I should say.
That's right. Well, that's enough.
And just the way that you impersonate him, he sounds like a big man.
He is. He sounds like one. He is one.
He is one.
But yeah, no, I like this on the standpoint that in our world there is a constant distraction from the divine, and there's a constant distraction from like sacrifice for the best of intentions. It's kind of like if you're gonna be miserable dieting all the time, just make it a spiritual effort and kind of like offer it up.
Yeah, because if you are a Christian and you fast, the reaction of the world is so many rules. You can't live your best life. Look at all the rules. And if you have the same exact behaviors because
With
you're
food.
training for a marathon,
Yeah.
man, this is bold. I'm
Yeah,
inspired.
he's got discipline and he's bold, but if you're doing it because it's Lent, you're
Yeah.
self-righteous. Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely a double standard.
But the distraction point, that's why I think your suggestion of giving up social media is a good idea. The doom scrolling, the feed scrolling, all of that sort of thing. And then we stay up too late and we're miserable. I'm going to create a new sleep plan. It's the 8-16 sleep plan. You cram all of your
8
sleep.
hours of sleep.
You cram all of your sleep into 8 hours a day.
I think you do it in the 16 because the fasting is you fast for 16 hours. You should sleep for 16 hours. That's your fast. You
No.
wake up and eat for 8 hours and go back to bed.
My notes here say that Hugh Jackman already invented skipping breakfast, so that's old and busted.
The Hugh Jackman Wolverine thing is absurd. They're on steroids. They're on TRT.
This is in men's health. You know it's got
Oh, I believe for legal purposes we have to say in our opinion. he
In
is
our
on steroids.
In our opinion, full-blown, full-time personal trainers.
Oh my
and he's like,
God.
it was the intermittent fasting. Here's why this is rude. There's some man or lady out there that's really trying to lose weight
Yes.
doing intermittent fasting.
and it's
they're
so
like,
mean that people do this.
Like, I lost 7 pounds. I didn't get a damn six-pack. I'm
Yeah.
fat as hell. Like, Hugh Jackman, intermittent fasting was the difference? What about all those trainers?
Because they didn't pair it with my patented 8-16 sleep method where you get all your sleep in 8 hours of the day.
Steroids. No. TRT. No, it's like Dana White. She's like full of crap. He got on TRT. And yeah, he did keto and he worked out with Gary Brecka and all that, but he got on TRT. And I'm like, yeah, it's testosterone. It's like RFK. RFK is like, big pharma is terrible, drugs are awful. He's on TRT. It's just steroids. Nobody looks like that at 70. It looks awkward. He takes his shirt off. I'm like, it's like a plastic doll.
I'm just against in
we
general
love you,
people
Art.
taking their shirt off. RFK or anybody else.
Yes.
Keep your shirt on.
I will say the bread and water fasting. I grew up thinking that that's what fasting,
Right.
like fasting from food. If
Right.
we're fasting on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, that's what fasting is. So when I got to college and, now fasting, no, it means 1 meal a day. And then it meant one full meal and 2 small meals a day. I'm like, this is not fasting. I can't do that. I can't. If I try that as fasting on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday now, I'm like, this is regressing. I'm not helping myself.
This is why we got to ignore the last 20 minutes. So with that mentality, you should have 1 meal a day at night, which would be like heavy intermittent fasting.
Because it's
Steve's point,
that would be easier to me though.
I know, but what I'm saying is like we're talking about fasting, and Steve's point is, and somebody just comes along and labels it intermittent,
something.
and all of a sudden it's a fad.
Exactly.
Does anybody make money? I guess who makes money off intermittent fasting?
Somebody, they do.
They do, yeah.
Probably the deep state.
They do.
There's all kinds of articles out there about celebrities and
18:6 versus 16:8.
Oh boy.
The debate begins. Yeah.
We should not skip wonderful St. Thomas Aquinas,
Right.
of course, from the Summa Theologia. We have recourse to fasting in order that the mind may arise more freely to the contemplation of heavenly things. Hence, it is related to Daniel that he received a revelation from God after fasting for 3 weeks, just basically capping the whole point of that section, that getting a beach body is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's all you're doing and that's your end goal for Lent, then you're doing it wrong.
I don't think you're going to get a beach body from fasting. You're going to have to work out.
It's just an
I mean, you're going to be like a weird, skin and bones. Okay. Anything you want to add onto this, Mr.
Since you asked,
16:8? Let's quickly cover non-food. We did social media. There's cold showers. We've heard people giving up their pillow.
Yes. I was going to say one of them is like, you're not supposed to compare yourself to others, whatever. We always do it. But if you compare yourself to others, don't implode on yourself just by comparing yourself to others. So use it to look at yourself and say, that person accomplished this. Maybe I could do this. It just depends on what your weaknesses and strengths are. But I remember, in college, I would always think, my 7 things that I'm giving up is nothing. Like this just like doesn't it pales in comparison. And I had a friend who every year would be doing something drastic, what would seem to be drastic. Like one year he gave up wearing shoes for Lent. So he walked all around campus with either bare feet or just socks. And it was like, well, how do you go into a restaurant?
That's gross.
It is gross, but that was part of it. He was like, I'm taking the humility from that. I'm taking everything that comes with that. And I'm going to blah, 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 blah. That's extreme is what I'm saying, right?
He's an idiot.
He's
That's
probably the
dumb.
listener.
I don't care.
maybe he crammed all of his shoe wearing into a few hours a day.
But that draws attention to yourself because they're like, bro, you don't have any shoes on.
Well, I don't know. I don't know
That
the
draws
whole
attention.
thought
That's
process.
like walking around with a clown nose.
It's like on Home
And
Alone.
being like, I'm accepting the humility of wearing this clown nose. It's like, but people are paying attention to you. The whole point of Lent is to
Yeah, it's
reflect.
humiliating.
It's not humiliating. It's gross.
Why do you take your shoes off? Why the hell do you dress like a chicken?
Why do you dress like a chicken? We're still in Christmas Home Alone.
Very good.
Yeah. That's the example of what not to do.
There you go.
Wear shoes. I'm accepting the humility of people looking at my feet.
Do you shave a tonsure?
No.
No, not yet.
He's eating pizza and brownies all day. Man, Lent's tough. I don't know.
You said in the beginning though.
You can't go to church.
He did.
But that's wrong. That's disrespectful to go into a church with no shoes.
You need to talk to him.
I'm
all the people out there, the monks that are giving up shoes.
No.
They're at least
monks,
wearing sandals, though.
They wear
Maybe.
sandals. I've stayed at a lot of monasteries. The monks have shoes. They're not weird.
They're not weird.
They're not weird. They're drinking a beer a day during Lent. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Music is a great thing, non-food, to give up.
Ooh.
Like if you I listen to as I work and everything. I just have music on in the background.
You mentioned that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of, yeah. What about peaceful music? What about like Gregorian chant? Or
I will listen to that instead because that's
so you
because
replace
the
it.
whole point is
You go from Morgan Wallen
Yeah.
and whiskey glasses
Yeah.
to Gregorian chant.
that
Right.
the
like that
Aquinas
idea.
quote that Heather just read us, that the mind may arise more freely to the contemplation of heavenly things.
It calms you. Gregorian chant especially. It's having it on in the background is awesome. It's so
That's a
calming.
really good idea.
It's a great for you moms out there doing the real work. Whew, it's a great kid calmer. It's like a drug when you're in the car. And if they're loud, you just blast it. Ah!
You ever there's the album Lent at Ephesus. You heard that? The Sisters of something or another. They've got an Advent,
I
an
think I
Easter,
know
a Christmas, and an Adoration one. And
Wait,
they're-
I have Advent at Ephesus.
Yeah, this is the
Okay,
Lent
This is
version.
the Lent one. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, they're great. Well, that sounds like you're going to heaven. The sisters sing.
Right.
It's beautiful. So yeah, those set the tone, set the mood, calm everybody down, but great in the car with kids on the way to school. Great in the background, just this disposition of godliness.
But one time I was doing it, I
With
think,
all due respect to Morgan Wallen.
on Spotify, and it got to the end of the Gregorian chant playlist, and then the algorithm tried to figure out what I wanted to listen to next. I'm like,
Gangsta's Paradise is right
That's
up.
right.
huh?
no, it was
It was sitting fat down south.
it was the Gregorian chant version of Rocket Man by Elton John.
Oh,
Ouch.
Okay, that's weird.
Unfortunate.
I would have loved if it was like dun 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 dun. You're like, we're out of the Gregorian chant. But I'm still pumped.
That's good. Well, don't just give up something, add something, like you said earlier, Sean. Prayer. One of my things was thinking about just getting up 20 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes earlier
Yes.
every morning than you normally would and pray. And that's hard for me to do. I'm not a easily jump out of bed.
I think I'm a morning person. I get up early. Mary Lisa's like, oh gosh, you're all happy and peppy in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm that guy.
You're doing this. I need you
know.
to do.
I get up before her, but I
You're quiet.
I don't wake. Yeah, I'm quiet.
Okay.
I don't wake her up.
That's
But so I'm not like everybody needs to get up at 5 a.m. because that
I had an
I've
uncle
always
like that.
done that.
Ugh.
And but yeah, that is a good thing. If you're not a morning person, like annoying people like me, there's pray at noon. Nothing wrong with that. So
If you do it.
If you pray.
if you
At all.
pray, and be sure to take Steve up on his recommendation this Lent, and that everybody must do intermittent fasting and post about it on social media. So
I'm gonna give alms as the tithe of my monthly installments of $9.99 to learn my 8-16 sleep method. New year, new you.
You lost me on that.
your birthday is too far away. I'm finding
Oh,
a
it
reason.
is.
I'm gonna buy like some diet book for Steve, like all these fad books, because you lost 60 pounds by just doing like common sense stuff. But so I'm gonna just like once a month send you a diet book and be like, Steve, sure you lost 60 pounds, but could you do this?
Gotta get the toxins out. I don't know what toxins are in me, but I gotta get them out.
A lot of toxins today, baby. It's Fat Tuesday. Enjoy yourselves out there. And please rate, review, share this podcast. Email us at podcast@40daysforlife.com, podcast@40daysforlife.com of interesting or good things to give up that you have given up or you've heard of others giving up that maybe we did not cover. So thank you, Heather. Thank you, Steve. Happy Lent. Happy fasting, everybody. God bless you. We will see you next time.